is that the name? Yeah, Magic, B-O-B. Okay, get some magic right here. Starting today, Amazon will let Whole Foods shoppers pay with a simple swipe of their hand. Susan, we've talked about this before,
Yeah.
and I want you to tell us again why you think this is an invasion of privacy.
And then you'll tell us when the last time you stepped into Whole Foods was. So yeah, I have issues with this. Do you really want a giant tech company storing your biometrics and scans of your palms? Who knows where that data goes, and who knows what type of government states have access to it? But in return, you are getting convenience. So this starts with one Whole Foods in the Seattle area. Amazon One is a program. It will allow shoppers to pay for items by placing their palm over that scanning device. Now you need to set it up the first time. So how you set it up is by inserting your credit card at the kiosk and then scanning your palm, and the biometrics are recorded, and then you can start paying with your palm, but you still have to scan out your items. So you can't just walk out. Remember that, Stu. This is not an Amazon Go store. They will come after you. Now Amazon One did already roll out in September, but it's the first Whole Foods. So this is already in use in a dozen of these Amazon stores, the physical ones. Now, what about privacy? Because, Amazon says it's highly secure, but what do you think is next? I mean, your facial recognition and scanning, are you going to use that for convenience?
But wait a second. What does Amazon find out about me if I scan my palm?
They know it's you. They know Stuart Varney just stepped through. They know what your palm looks like. That is on record and on file forever. Do you want that?
It doesn't really bother me that much, Susan, I've got to say.
Yes, but
Does it bother
everything
you?
else does. Yeah, it bothers me because
It's just a form of
starting
ID.
to think of yes, but you can leave a country, right? You can't ever leave your palm. It's there forever.
Okay. All right. We will agree to differ. Now economically, what is the best performing city in the United States? It is a city in Utah, and that's where we find our own Conor McShane. He's in Provo, by the way. That's this top performing city. What's so special about it, Conor?
I mean, just look around, Stuart. I mean, it's absolutely spectacular, the views here and everything else, but it's more than that. There's a business-friendly environment, and there is a thriving tech scene here, driving more workers to Provo.
I mean, look outside. You see these mountains? I mean, we're literally a stone's throw away from some of the best mountains in the world.
When you do take a look around Provo, you can see the beauty and understand the sales pitch from 42-year-old billionaire Ryan Smith. There's a basketball court in the lobby of his software company, Qualtrics, so the new owner of the Utah Jazz will work on his game. And he also works on selling his home state.
15 years ago, trying to recruit people to come to Utah was kind of like, no, I'm going to stay in the Valley. Now it's the amount of outreach we have, people saying, hey, I want to come here. I've heard about it. I have friends who have relocated.
Jessica Jones is one of those relocators. She left a marketing job with Amazon in Seattle 2.5 years ago.
This is the first place I've lived where I actually know my next door neighbors and we hang out and know each other's names.
Jessica was able to buy her own home, something she couldn't afford in Seattle, but the cost of living is on the way up. Zillow says home prices here have risen by 1/3 during the pandemic. When the Milken Institute named Provo as this year's best performing large city, it had the area leading the nation in both job and wage growth. And the talent pool is deep, with BYU's campus turning out top graduates each spring. At Duncan Aviation, Chad Doring heads up a team that maintains private aircraft, another industry taking off thanks to the tech boom.
They're bringing their aircraft into this area as they set up headquarters here or bigger divisions here.
That migration from the West is real, as the area known as the Silicon Slopes aims to challenge Silicon Valley as America's innovation center. It was a well-kept secret in many ways before the pandemic, but now you have more and more people hearing about it, and they're making the move. Stuart?
Okay, we hear you. Conor McShane, right in the middle of it as usual. Thank you, Conor. Now a publishing company taking a stand against